was walking away. The argument appeared finished. Bubba Wallace had said his piece. Christopher Bell had stood there and absorbed every word. The confrontation that Fox Sports cameras had been broadcasting live to millions of households across America looked like it was over. Then Bell said something. 3 words, maybe 5, delivered quietly enough that no microphone picked them up, no lip reader has confirmed them, and no reporter standing 20 feet away managed to extract them afterward. Whatever came out of Bell's mouth in that specific moment hit Wallace like a full stop, becoming a question mark. He stopped walking, turned completely around, and the entire confrontation started again. Same pit road, same cameras rolling, same national audience witnessing every second of it live. From the broadcast booth, Kevin Harvick looked down at the footage and said 7 words that traveled across every NASCAR platform within the hour. I don't think we're good right here. 4 days passed. Press conferences happened. Both drivers spoke. Theories were confirmed, dismantled, and replaced. The alliance between their teams was declared intact. The phone call between them was confirmed. The explanation finally came out at Dover Motor Speedway, and it was nothing like what anyone had reported. But through all of it, through every press conference answer, every NASCAR.com interview, every podcast breakdown, one specific thing has never been addressed publicly by either driver. That question is still open. This is everything that surrounds it. Start with Christopher Bell, because that is where the real surprise lives in this story. Bell drives the number 20 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, one of the most accomplished organizations in NASCAR history. But the identity Bell had constructed inside the garage over years of Cup Series racing was not built on championships or race-wins alone. It was built on something rarer in a sport full of volatile personalities: composure, measured responses under pressure, calm when situations escalated around him, the driver whose name simply did not appear in sentences about post-race confrontations or pit road arguments. 6 career starts at Watkins Glen International before May 10, 2026. Not one single controversy attached to any of them. That was the Christopher Bell the garage knew, walking into that Sunday afternoon. Was not going well. Stuck in traffic, unable to find clean running, unable to challenge for any meaningful position. He crossed the finish line 21st, the worst result of his 6 Watkins Glen starts. Frustration was already present before the final lap was completed. What Bell did not know, what he had absolutely no information about as he ran behind Bubba Wallace in the closing laps, was that Wallace had been spun out by John Hunter Nemechek and was now operating in a completely different emotional normal racing situation would produce. From Bell's position, Wallace looked like a driver on worn tires who was being unnecessarily difficult to pass. Every road course experience Bell had with Wallace pointed toward the same outcome. The courtesy pass would come. The allied driver would yield, and everyone would move on. The courtesy pass never came, so Bell walked up to Wallace on pit road after the race and asked why. That was the confrontation America watched. Bell initiated it. Wallace responded, and the narrative that everyone had been running, Wallace going after Bell, was wrong from the very beginning. The tension between these two drivers on May 10, 2026 did not begin with the confrontation on pit road. It had been building through 2 separate incidents at 2 different points in the same race, and the Fox Sports broadcast captured neither of them completely. The first came during the lap 42 caution period. Bell's team appeared to commit to pit road with a group of cars, then reversed the strategy call at the final possible moment. The shuffle that followed moved Wallace ahead of Bell in the running order. NASCAR's official ruling confirmed the number 23 was now running in front of the number 20. Joe Gibbs Racing formally protested that ruling. NASCAR rejected the protest. First incident, unresolved. The second came with 8 laps remaining. Wallace received the call from his team to head to pit road. He was navigating through the S's past turn 1 with Bell and Todd Gilliland running directly behind him. Through the carousel, Bell generated momentum and pulled up alongside Wallace's right side. The problem was not the positioning, it was the timing of the communication that followed. Bell's team radioed that the number 23 was heading to pit road only after Bell was already running wheel-to-wheel with Wallace. That information arrived too late to change anything. Simultaneously, Cody Ware was limping through that section of the track, following an earlier incident, removing any possibility of Wallace cutting across Bell's nose. His only available option was physically slowing down and surrendering position to Bell, Gilliland, and Riley Herbst before pit entry became possible. Stephen Trento examined the available onboard footage and documented the sequence in detail. It put Bubba in a tough spot getting to pit road, as he couldn't just try to cut across Bell's nose. Cody Ware was there and limping around, and he had to slow down to let Bell, Gilliland, and Riley Herbst pass just so he could make pit entry. 2 incidents, same 2 drivers, different moments in the same race, sitting unresolved when the checkered flag fell. Bubba Wallace did not arrive at Watkins Glen with a clean slate in 2026. The year had already generated significant attention around his driving before this Sunday contributed anything new. At Talladega, he triggered the massive chain reaction crash that collected over 30 cars during Stage 2. One of the largest incidents of the season. At Martinsville, contact with Carson Hocevar inside the final 80 laps produced another multi-car incident and delivered back-to-back DNFs. Both Kevin Harvick and Kyle Petty addressed his driving publicly in the aftermath of Martinsville. The headlines had been following Wallace throughout 2026, regardless of whether he sought them. Road courses carry their own specific chapter in Wallace's career narrative. He has acknowledged the challenge they present in conversations with reporters over multiple seasons. His best previous result at Watkins Glen was an 8th-place finish in 2025, a result that required genuine effort and improvement to achieve. This particular Sunday was tracking towards something similar. The number 23 was fast, a stage point collected early in the running. Lap times matching Tyler Reddick, his own 23X1 racing teammate, and one of the most naturally gifted road course drivers in the field. A top 10 or top 12 finish was the realistic projection based on how the car was actually performing. Wallace drives the number 23 Toyota Camry for 23X1 Racing, the organization co-owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. His career carries historical weight that extends far beyond any single race result. In 2013, he became the first African American in 50 years to win in one of NASCAR's 3 national series, the first of 6 NASCAR Truck Series victories. In 2018, he became the first African American to compete full-time at the Cup Series level. In 2021, he became the first black driver to win a Cup Series race since Hall of Famer Wendell Scott at Speedway Park on December 1, 1963. Entering Watkins Glen, Wallace ranked 10th in the Cup Series standings. Bell ranked 11th. 2 points separated them. Both teams, 23X1 Racing and Joe Gibbs Racing, operate under a formal Toyota manufacturer alliance. Partners, allies, 2 points apart in the standings on a Sunday that was about to go badly for both of them. Shane Van Gisbergen of Trackhouse Racing won the 100-lap, 2.45-mile road course race from pole position. A late pit stop dropped him 29 seconds off the leaders. He drove back through the entire field and won by 7 seconds. His assessment afterward: "We weren't very good in practice, and then qualifying was amazing. And then today, what a race car. And then crew chief Stephen Doran made great calls. I wasn't sure how it was going to work. And then to run them down like that, it's very, very special to do 2 in a row." With 15 laps remaining, John Hunter Nemechek arrived on fresher tires and drove hard into Turn 1. His car made contact with Wallace's right rear, The number 23 spun. The top 10 run that had been building across the entire afternoon was gone in a single corner. Wallace gathered the car, rejoined the circuit, and finished 29th. At Dover, Wallace described exactly what that moment produces inside a driver. "I got wiped out by the 42. We were in potential for a top 10, top 12 day. I got wiped out following Tyler Reddick, and when I put so much freaking effort into becoming a better road course racer, I joke with you guys that I suck, and I don't give a damn about road courses. I really do. It's a competitive nature, and I push hard every time we get into the car." And at that point in the race, everything was clicking. What happened next is the piece that explains everything on pit road. Wallace rejoined the race with one mode available: pure aggression. No courtesy, no alliance acknowledgement. Bell, Herbst, every driver in that vicinity received identical treatment. Maximum pressure, zero consideration. Because Wallace's afternoon had been taken from him 30 seconds earlier, and rational decision-making had left with it. The race finished. Van Gisbergen celebrated. Cameras found Wallace and Bell on pit road. Wallace was animated. He was talking with his hands, leaning in, making his point clearly and forcefully. Bell, in his typical fashion, stood there with a calm demeanor that NASCAR fans know well. One driver physically expressive and fully engaged, the other almost completely still. That specific contrast produced footage that felt more charged than a conventional argument. Bell's composure amplified everything Wallace was delivering. The exchange ran its course. Wallace stepped back, turned to leave. Bell said something. Wallace stopped, turned around, came back. Round 2. Same officials watching, same cameras rolling, same national audience seeing every second of it broadcast live. On Fox Sports, Harvick delivered his line from the booth. The NASCAR on Fox account posted the clip with eyeball emojis and the caption, "A post-race chat for Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell." Theories flooded in from every direction. Then Wallace's spotter Freddie Kraft posted publicly, "You shouldn't speculate. Bubba wasn't mad at Bell. One sentence, no context, no explanation. Both drivers went silent. 4 days of theories followed. But every single one of y'all were wrong." Wallace opened with that line and delivered the explanation that dismantled 4 days of analysis. After the Nemechek spin, he raced everyone around him at maximum aggression. Bell had no knowledge of the contact and expected a courtesy pass that never arrived. So Bell initiated the confrontation on pit road. Wallace responded. Wallace explained the emotional state that produced it all. "When that happens, you see freaking red, and you don't care who is out there. You don't care if your wife and kids are out on the racetrack. You are going to race the dogs out of them, because you had everything ripped away from you. Riley Herbst was in that mix. I raced thus out of him. Christopher Bell was in the mix. I raced thus out of him. Whoever else was in that mix, I didn't care, just because my race was ruined 30 seconds beforehand." Wallace described what he told Bell directly. "I said I would understand that scenario, and you would expect me to point you by, and I damn sure would. Just like every other time I'm on a road course bleeding spots. Have at it. In that one, when I just went from everything is clicking, everything is still clicking, but I'm pissed off doing it now, so you were just caught in the crosshairs." Bell confirmed the resolution to NASCAR.com at Dover. "We didn't even have a run-in on track. He was very aggressive towards me, and I asked him what was up. He obviously had a rough day and a rough go of it. I get it. If I wouldn't have confronted him, I don't think he would have known that I was upset. We're all great." Wallace called Bell during the week. Civil conversation, alliance intact, matter closed. In 2022 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Wallace received a one-race suspension after confronting Kyle Larson on pit road, establishing exactly how NASCAR treats these situations. The entire Watkins Glen confrontation aired nationally on Fox Sports, with NASCAR officials observing in real time. Almost everything answered. Almost everything explained. The alliance survived. Both drivers moved on. Except one thing has never been addressed. Not once. By either driver. In any format. Bell knows. Wallace knows. Nobody else does. This question has survived every press conference, every podcast, and every reporter who was standing right there on that pit road. Neither driver has answered it. Neither driver may ever answer it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more NASCAR content, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Bubba justified, or did he go too far? And if you know a NASCAR fan, share this video with them. See you in the next one.